Welcome my viewers to the Magic Behind channel. This is a channel where we teach you about electronics components and how to use those components to make working circuits. In today's video, I want to show you how to decorate this M-Pesa signboard using right emitting diodes. Before we move ahead, kindly consider subscribing to my channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below this video. The first step is to have a piece of plywood and a sticker printout. The size of the two will depend with the size of signboard you want to make. The other step is to paste the printout on the piece of plywood. The next step is to take your drill and make holes. After you make those holes, you insert the right emitting diodes. When you insert the LEDs on each letter or on each icon, you're supposed to come at the back, you fold the lids, after you fold, you do the soldering, you solder them. After you have done the soldering, you trim the long unnecessary lids. I'll make the holes. I insert the LEDs on all these letters and these icons. Then I show you the next step. I have now completed inserting the LEDs on all these letters in this telephone icon, in the money icon. As you can see, I have also done the soldering and trimmed the unnecessary leads. After you have done that, the next step is to count the number of LEDs on each letter and also on the icons. Letter M has 27 LEDs. This icon where we shall have the chaser, we have 45 LEDs. Letter P has 19, letter E 24, S 20, and letter A 19. And the total, I have 109 LEDs on the letters. This is separate. This icon is separate. 109 is for M, P, E, S, and A. The next step is to mark the anode and the cathode for each letter. For this letter M, our anode is this one, and our cathode is this. Anode is the positive terminal of an LED, and the cathode is the negative terminal of an LED. I have done the same for letter P. This is where we have anode, this is where we have cathode. The same case with E and S and letter A. For your signboard to look neat and smart, I want you to note two things, or you need to do two things. Number one, do not separate LEDs too much. Just leave a small gap between the one LED to the other. The next thing is that the LEDs you are using, or the color of LEDs you are using, let it correspond with the color on the background. For this one, I'm supposed to use green LEDs so they can correspond with the background of this reta or these retas. For this one, I'm supposed to use white so that it can correspond with this background. And here, I'm supposed to use red so that it can correspond with the color on the background. That way, your signboard will look neat because there is no color which will be contrasting those LED colors. But for today's demonstration, I'm using white LEDs on the retas, on these green retas. I have white LEDs. On this telephone icon, I'm using green LEDs. And on this red money icon, I'm using purple LEDs. The reason why I have done that is because I didn't have enough greens for today's demonstration. But in my next video, I'll use LED colors which correspond with the color on the background. The next step is to connect the LEDs on the letters in series. For letter M, P, E, S, and A, you connect all these LEDs in series. I'm connecting them in series because they have the same color, and they are the ones I will use resistor with, plus the AC to DC rectifier. Now this is anode of letter M. I have connected all these LEDs in series coming this way. Then I've connected the jumper wire from here, this white wire, crossing over the chaser section, coming to this anode of letter P. Then our series continues up to where we have the cathode of P. Then our series connection continues using a jumper wire to the anode of letter E. Then the same series connection continues then to the cathode of letter E. Then I've connected a jumper wire again to continue our series connection to the anode of S, then coming all the way to the cathode of S, then connecting through a jumper wire to the anode of A, all the way up to here we have the cathode of letter A here. So from M up to A, we have a series connection. We have the anode here and the cathode. The LEDs I'm using, they are color white from here up to here, and they are in total 109. So I can use, or I will use, one resistor which is 47 kilo ohms, and I'll solder it here on the anode of letter M. For white LEDs, between 75 pieces and 110 or 115, you can use one resistor connected in series with them for a resistor value of 47 kilo ohms. It will be able to drive those white LEDs. The next step is to put the chaser circuit. The chaser will be chasing these LEDs in this section. And when putting the chaser circuit, you need to consider that there is a wood frame which will come here. So you're not supposed to bring it very near the edge. You're supposed to put it some distance to leave for the frame of this board. Also, you are not supposed to bring it very close to where the other connection is to avoid short circuit. And to stick this chaser circuit on the board, I'm going to use the glue gun. I'll apply the glue on the side, just a little. I'm just using a bit of glue because in case of any repair or in case you want to remove this chaser circuit, it will be easier for you to remove. Then I'll let it cool so that it can be able to stick properly. The next step is to connect these two rectifier circuits. You connect them in parallel. The one is going to power the chaser circuit, and this second one will be able to power the LEDs on the rotors, the white LEDs. After you have connected them in parallel, you also need to stick them on this board. As you can see, I have also sticked these two AC to DC rectifiers. As I've told you earlier, one is to power the chaser circuit, the other one will power the LEDs, the white LEDs on the rotors. It will power here and at the cathode on this other side. As you can see, I've also considered that there is a wood frame which will come there, so it has left, or rather I have left some space for the frame which will come to close this board. I have also put some glue here so that this wire will not be moving. It has stuck there. The next step is to connect the power from here to the chaser. Then I connect the chaser output here to this section. Then I connect power from here to this resistor and also to the cathode at the other side. I have now connected power. What I'm remaining with is to connect the power from the AC mains. This is the rectifier which is powering the white LEDs. This is its negative output. I brought it down here to the cathode of the letter A. This is the output of positive, which is coming all the way with this yellow up to where we have the resistor, the anode of letter M. This is the rectifier which is powering the chaser circuit. I've connected the positive here, this yellow, coming all the way up to where we have the positive input of the chaser circuit. This is the negative from the rectifier coming all the way down there up to where we have the negative power terminal of the chaser. Now the chaser output is here. This is the channel 1 coming through this yellow up to here. We have the positive of this chasing section, and the common output from the chaser circuit is this black coming all the way to this junction here. Now I will connect to the AC mains. We test whether our circuit is working before we go to the next step. As you can see, I have connected our circuit to the AC mains, and our circuit is working. The caution I can give you at this point is that do not touch any part of the circuit, especially at the back here when the power is on. When it is on power like this, you can leave it like 10 minutes or less to see whether your circuit is working properly. If there is anything which you need to rectify before you close it, you'll be able to know whether it has an issue or not. After you are certain that your circuit is okay, it's now time to close it up. You put the frame at the back and you close it. This is the frame. I've already done it. You come with your signboard, close it this way. Do not forget to put a notch here where this cable will come out from. I have put this notch. This is where the cable will come out from. After that, you need to put some nails, like 1, 2, 3, and on this lower side, 1, 2, 3. Do not put a lot of nails because in case of any repair, you need to remove this cover. And when you put a lot of nails, it will be a very difficult work for you to remove. After you have put the nails, you can decide to cover it with an iron paper to avoid rain getting inside, or you can just leave it like that. After you have covered with an iron paper, or if you have not covered but you have nailed, you need to put this trunking as a frame or around, and your product will be something like this. You'll have something like this. This is the trunking. This one I've covered with a nylon paper. After that, the next step is to put these hanging screws. After that, you extend your cable and you put the plug. And when you have done that, you have completed your signboard. In my next video, I'll show you how to make a double-lined signboard like this one. As you can see, this one has 2 lines of LEDs, but the one we have just made, it has only 1 line. This is a single line. So in my next video, I'll show you how to make a double-lined LED signboard. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly give this video a thumbs up. Share it with friends whom you think may be interested in this kind of stuff. On the comment section below, please leave me a comment, ask me any question in regard to this kind of signboards. And if you are new to this channel, or you have been watching my videos and you have not yet subscribed, kindly consider subscribing. This will support me a big way. Once again, thank you so much. See you in my next video.